Welcome to Body Reconnect, where I help you to decipher the signs and signals your body sends you every day so that you can course correct, make changes, do something different in order to live your best, healthiest life. I'm certified wellness coach and lymphatic therapist, Michelle Dominique, but today we won't be talking about lymphatic drainage. Instead, we are going to delve into essential oils. I like to call this segment everyday ailments or everyday emotions, using essential oils to help you with everyday things. It's okay to take pharmaceuticals, and sometimes you have to, but you want to save that for a big occurrence, right? And not just taking anything or not doing anything when you are in pain, be it physical or emotional, is not a good prescription, right? I hear that a lot. Oh, I don't take pills. Yeah, but do you need them? It doesn't matter if you're taking them. Do you need it? Because not using something when you need it, I tell my clients who have gone through addiction, and oh my gosh, they'll get a root canal without any pain medicine before they get prescribed a pain pill. But in controlled environments, when you need it, use it, because otherwise you are wearing your body out. You're expecting it to do everything it always does, but with a level of pain. And that holds true for emotional pain as well. Emotional pain is very taxing on the body. Stress, which is a form of emotional discomfort, I always tell clients stress will kill you one organ, one body part at a time. It doesn't scream, hey, I'm stressed and I'm going to take out your liver, or I'm going to overwork your kidneys, or I'm going to blow your adrenals for sure. No, it doesn't say that. It doesn't make an announcement, but that's what starts to happen. And then you go and get treatment for this, and then you go and get treatment for that, and then when all the while it's all under the umbrella of stress, which is an emotional issue. So today we're going to use the glorious plants in the bottle, plants, trees, and nature in a bottle to help you make a shift in a very quick and effective way. How amazing is it that without a pill, without a prescription, without a counseling session, without anything, with just understanding your reflex points, you know, essential oils, real essential oils, not the fragrance stuff, and your breath, you can make changes in your mind, in your hippocampus. You can activate your vagus nerve, shutting down the dumb vagus and shifting on the smart vagus, fight or flight versus responding, reacting, popping off versus responding. Those things become really important. There's a new term now that we're seeing in our society, the crash out. Okay? The crash out. I'm going to show you how to simply use a very natural plant-based product to prevent a crash out, or just to even help you understand where discomfort in your body may be coming from. Because 9 times out of 10, it starts with an emotion that has been repressed or suppressed. And let me tell you what I mean. Yesterday, let me get some water here. Yesterday was very interesting. Last week was a good week. I had some very surprising, unexpected wins last week. So I should have been on top of the world, right? But I wasn't. I was anything but on top of the world. So I kept trying to piece around and piece around. I know a lot of times my clients, those who I work very closely with, especially for long periods, a lot of time I'll pick up and sense that they're going through some stuff, right? Um, so I ran through my emotional list, my mental list of, okay, what might be going on? Still couldn't put my finger on it. I just realized I was kind of feeling a little down, maybe a little sad, maybe, which happens, but why? If I'm feeling sad, I should be able to at least know why. I'm looking at my week, I'm looking at my circumstances, and everything is saying you should be, you know, everything should be great, but I wasn't. And as I'm working through it, because it really is bothering me. Why am I not feeling just at least okay? What is this nagging, this niggling of, oh, woe is thee or something? So as I continue to process it in my mind more and, okay, trying to track back, like I teach my clients to do, go back, let's go back. And it dawned on me in an instant, and the floodgates opened. I was sad in my heart because my birthday is coming up, and my mother, once again, won't be here to wish me a happy birthday. She's the person who shares my birthday. Not that we have birthdays on the same day, no, but she was the one who was here for all of it, for my whole birth story. She's a part of that. And so I won't be able to share that with her. Now, thank you so much for your concern and your prayers, but this has been 15 years now. This isn't just this year or last year. It's been a long time, right? So you're probably thinking like, you should be over that by now. And to a degree, I mean, you never get over it, but the fact that I'm crying, yeah, I thought we had done that part. But here's the thing. You may have heard of the 7 stages of grief, right? I tell people that's inaccurate. Grief doesn't come in a mere 7 stages. Grief comes in waves and stages, and it seems to come when you're least prepared, least expected. It doesn't ask permission like it didn't me. It just came on the scene and bam, I was sad. And not only was I sad, but if I didn't get a good control of it, or if I didn't put the pieces together, I would be sad a very long time from that, because there is, and there was no resolve for my sadness. So let's get back to the oils. And this is a beautiful thing. If anyone listening to this has had an energy flow session with me, you'll be familiar with some of the things I'm about to do. If you've not yet had a session with me, feel free to reach out. I would love to do a session on you at no cost at all. So please do that. So when I realized, while crying in my breakfast, I really was crying in my breakfast, that, oh my gosh, I'm missing my mama. This is going to be really not great. It's going to suck, because it's just not going to change. And this is not every year. I don't do this every year, but this year it hit hard. So once I identified and did some processing and identified what the problem was, like, okay, it is okay to feel the emotion. I love my mother. I'm supposed to feel sad. But what I don't want to do is get trapped in the downward spiral. Because at one time, especially the first birthday, yeah, I'd be out for a couple of weeks. I would not be right, but we've passed that. And so now, I feel it, I cry, but I'm not going to cry every day. I need to go ahead and process this emotion. So we're going to be using Breathe oil today. In fact, this has been my anchor oil. I tell my clients, this is where the oil becomes very important in this treatment because it helps to anchor you. It gives you something to hold on to. So when the waves of that emotion comes, the waves of that sadness come, let me reach for my Breathe. Let me reach for my oil that I know is going to anchor me and remind me, hey, let me help you through this. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Breathe. Oh, I wish this were smell-o-vision. I wish you could smell this. This is amazing. Breathe is a combination of eucalyptus, peppermint, tea tree, and some other really, really very beautiful oils. Sorry, I dropped my top. So let's talk about Breathe. In the physical sense, this is a beautiful oil. In fact, when my daughter, mostly throughout school, elementary, middle school, and high school, she woke up to Breathe and Lime because those two are really good to promote deep breathing and to push out, because the deeper you breathe, your lungs start to push out the gook. So every morning I'd put that in her diffuser while she was still asleep to wake her up. And I could tell when she was awake because I'd start hearing her cough or blow her nose. Even if she hadn't gone to bed that night congested, it would help to open up her lungs and bring all that out. So that's one of the great physical ways to use Breathe for physical situations. Great to just have in the house, especially as we're in the colder months, when people come out from the cold. It's great to have that going in the house. But the emotional side, Breathe addresses an inability to let go of grief and pain. An inability to let go of grief and pain. Like I said, I'm never going to stop missing my mother, but I can't sit in grief, not 15 years later. Not the kind of grief I sat in, 5 years later or 1 year later. Okay. Individuals in need of this oil literally feel suffocated by sadness. And it was weighing on me. It was very heavy. And I didn't understand why, but that's what it was. It was the sadness of it. So let me go over that again. Inability to let go of grief and pain, struggling to breathe, and literally feeling suffocated by sadness. The lungs and air passages become constricted, preventing air and emotion from releasing. Now, that's something you might not know. Let me give you an example of this. As I'm sitting down and I'm processing, trying to figure out what is going on, and when it hit me, when I realized I was grieving my mother. You see that? What did I read here? The lungs and air passages become constricted, preventing air and emotion from releasing. This is the whole basis behind energy flow. Suppressed and recessed emotions. Now, when I was going through this with my mother, at one point, I swore I could never cry another tear again because I had cried so many tears, right? I got all the emotion out at the time. I really did. But I thought about it the day after my mother passed away. I went to work. She passed away at night. I was at work the next morning, right? I thought, you have to do what you have to do. I thought, right? Had to let him know I was going to need time to go out of town. I thought I had released all the emotions, but as I was sitting down with this, that was what came back. I was like, I thought I released everything. And, I've done my fair share of crying, and sometimes I still cry. But it literally brought me back using this oil, stimulating the memory, recalling in my mind. It brought me back to that point when I went into work the next day, packed it up, put a bow on it, and showed up for work. Oh, right in my chest. This is very, very important to understand why you need to identify where unprocessed emotion exists. Let's talk about the lungs. Things that go on in the lungs. Upper respiratory issues, colds, congestion, laryngitis. Somebody who every so-and-so months, I knew somebody, bronchitis, who like 2-3 times a year had bronchitis, excessive shyness, runny nose or nosebleeds, speech conditions, strep throat, repeated strep throat. All of these issues, breathing, constant allergies, lung conditions, pneumonia. Let's put the two together. Okay, so with this treatment, we use reflex points on your hand. Many of you have seen reflexology charts. It's an ancient Chinese art. So this portion right here that I'm circling with represents the lung. Okay. Now I'm going to use my ring finger, which is the finger that's associated with relationships. Okay, ring finger. Let's talk about this ring finger. I'm using this ring finger, right? The block that I'm working on, traumatic emotions, getting stuck, weakens our hearts, causes us doubt and fear. I was experiencing all of that. When I put the oil on my reflex point for my lungs, and I simply start pressing, I'm feeling that right now. I've processed this, and I'm doing it again, and I still feel that tingling, that sensation, that tightness. I didn't have a problem before. No problem at all. Wasn't coughing. Since I first did this treatment the other day, I've been coughing, but not at all. But even as I'm depressing this reflex point, which coincides with my lungs, so I'm letting my body know, hey, we've identified some issues here. Let's open this up. This is fascinating. This is power. Therapy is great. Talk therapy is great. Counseling is great. Counseling groups are great. I don't negate all of that. I've used all of that. But on a Saturday morning when you're crying in your breakfast, you need to be able to help yourself. Self-help isn't self-help if you can't help yourself. And that's why I love doing this, teaching my clients this treatment, so that in moments when you can't get in touch with me, you can help yourself. So I'm feeling that right now in my chest, right in my lung area, feeling that tightness. Let's talk about what the lung represents. Just like with the oils, there's a physical and then there's an emotional. Physically, we know what lungs do, but emotionally, do you know? The lungs hold the energy that helps us breathe with the cycle of life, to let go of what life takes from us and to accept what life has from us. I'm going to read that again. Lungs help us breathe with the cycle of life, or to accept what life has for us, as well as to release what it takes from us, the cycle of life. So I'm using my ring finger. Each finger has a different meaning. When we do a session together, I'll go over all of that. So be sure to schedule your free session. And so as I'm sitting there, I have the oil. It's stimulating the memory while supporting me. Let me just say that's why a lot of people don't go to counseling. And it is a valid reason, because you don't even really know. Like I said, I didn't know what I was grieving before. I didn't know why I was sad. It's very hard to open yourself up to somebody you don't know well about something you're not quite sure of. Do you hear how confusing that sounds? And you're supposed to sit there and pour your heart out. Now, I have gone to counseling. I love counseling. But doing this treatment can save you 5 sessions. And so that way, when you do go to counseling, you can get right to the meat of it, because you're going to pay for about 5 or 6 sessions to even figure out what your issue is. Okay. So that's why this is so beautiful. Like I said, I could pinpoint back to the day after my mother passed and I showed up at work, and I'm sitting there like, that was ridiculous. What were you thinking? I wasn't. I was out of my mind, as I would be for the next 3 years after that. Just functioning, just here, functioning depressed, right? That's how I was. From the day she passed for the next 3 years. Showed up for everything. I was even smiling, out of my mind. Okay? So let's go back to that. And we want to inhale right here. Thank you, lungs. Thank you. Thank you for helping me to breathe with the cycle of life, to release those things that life takes from us. Breathing is very powerful with the oils and the reflex points. This is very powerful right now. I hope you're feeling this through the airwaves there, because it is very powerful right here. Like I said, the finger that you use is very important, since I'm working with a relationship right now. And even as I do this, I can feel myself slowly breathing deeper, being able to go deeper and deeper with my breath before as I activate. And I'm releasing feelings of being cheated, because my mother's not going to be here for my birthday or the next one. Look at that, I'm starting to cough right now. Signs that you know that it's working. I'm releasing feelings of sadness, right? Like one without hope. I'm not without hope. I have beautiful memories of birthdays spent with my mother. I release the feeling of despair. It's getting really strong. I'm going to add a little bit more oil right here. Release feelings of despair. Like I said, the oil is the anchor. Remember, we use it for when you're feeling suffocated by grief and sadness, inability to let go of grief and pain. So it's not that I don't want to cry. I have cried and will cry again. But right now I'm tapping into the understanding. See how I started rocking? the understanding of where my mother is, acknowledging that it happened, that she is not here with me now. Not in this physical sense. She is with me in another sense now. No woo-woo-y, but I still talk to her and I still feel her, is what I mean. She hasn't left me. I'm releasing feelings of feeling constricted, trying to hold the emotion in. Anything else that you're feeling right now, go ahead and vocalize that. I release. When you're all done, shake your hands. Whoo, that energy is hot up in here. My chest is just like, just trying to pull the air down. My lungs are, feeling it right here. We want to shake that energy off. Sometimes we'll go over more than one cycle when you're in session. Like I said, this is my second or third time doing this, right? I do it until I stop feeling that tightness. I'll probably do it again tomorrow. As long as I feel that tightness, that constriction, I know there's more emotions in there. Maybe I might have another flashback about another time that I held emotion in around this particular area, or it might pop up that I held emotions in around another area. This was the one that I identified or that showed itself initially. So the body is fascinating. The mind is fascinating. And the fact that you can tap into it. We've always been taught to go outside. No, you can tap. It's you tapping into you, right? All right, so now on to the positive. This is how we change that loop, because that's what we're doing. My mom is not going to be here for my birthday. I'm going to be so sad. No, we're about to break that loop up. That's why we release the sadness. So right now, same point, same finger, different motion. And I'll tell you about the motions in the session. I receive the love that's all around me, from people I know and people I don't know. Some of you, when you saw this first part of this video, your heart clutched and you started praying for me or lifting me up, sending me light and love. I appreciate it. I receive that love. I might not even know you, but thank you for sending it. I receive it. I receive being supported. I receive healing my heart of the pain. I receive embracing life. This is where I am. There are some beautiful moments in my life right now. I embrace that as I learn to let go of the things that life has taken away. I embrace what it has brought as well. If you're working along with me, which I hope you are, I'll give you a moment to embrace some things. Don't worry if you don't have the oil, because I'm doing this treatment. I do work virtually. So when I'm doing a treatment, I'm holding space for you. So it's as if you are using the oil. Once again, let's shake it off before we go on to the next, last, final stage. Now, I talked about changing that loop I had to break that loop in my head of I'm going to be so sad my mom's not going to be here. No, that's the thing that takes you down the spiral. So changing that loop in my head, that chatter, making conscious change to cut off that dumb vagus and awaken the smart vagus, to have a response that's intelligent instead of a reaction that's based on just pure emotion. So we're going to do that now to close up the session. And when I do that, I do finger tapping with, you can use all of the fingers tapping right there, not just the relationship one. I release grief and loss. Nothing is ever truly lost. Anything I love that leaves me comes back to me multiplied. Anything that leaves me comes back to me multiplied. Sit with that for just a minute. No, I'm not going to get another mother, but I sure am getting a lot of love just right here now. I feel your love. Thank you. Never negate your breath. It is powerful. That's your first line of defense in calming yourself. The reflex points, being able to tap in to exactly where in your body. Right now we work lungs, but we could have worked adrenals, pituitary, eyes, anything. And the power of a very real plants only, herbs only in a bottle oil. So we're going to close out this session, my friend. If you, during the season especially, or any season, but if you're experiencing grief, try this. Try this, right? Please call me. Please reach out to me for your absolutely free session. I also have some classes scheduled on my website that we do to learn more about how to go within. Go within first. It's going to make your counseling so much more effective. How do I know? I work with counselors, with them having sessions with me, and I work with people who are in counseling, right? It's not instead of, it's in addition to. And like I said, it's a great segue if you've been leery or afraid to even consider counseling. All right, on that note, we're going to close up today. And remember, you deserve to live your best, healthiest life. And it would be my pleasure to help you get there. So please be sure to reach out, like, share this video, subscribe, all the things, but especially share, especially during the season. Somebody needs this. I'll see you on the next video.